Those who have seen the Iron Blood Warrior know that the ultimate Iron Blood is the most powerful of all the Iron Blood Warriors. Whether it is physical strength or combat experience, the ultimate Iron Blood far surpasses the average Iron Blood Warrior. He can directly fly to a handful of Iron Blood Warriors, fill up his strength, and deliver a punch that breaks heads. Finally, he can pull out the other person's spine in one shot. So, how did the ultimate Iron Blood come about? Let's find the answer together. One night, a spaceship escaped from outer space. At the critical moment, the ship opened a wormhole and disappeared. After a while, he completed a high-speed space jump to Earth. The pilot of the spaceship was Iron Blood, the traitor. I saw him take out the spaceship's microcontroller and put it on his arm. He was chased to death because he put the gift that was supposed to be given to humans on the spaceship. Then, Iron Blood sent the spaceship off, and it continued to fly until it landed in a corner of Earth. At the same time, a sniper was on a mission in the woods. While looking for a chance to rescue the kidnapped hostage, an unknown flying object suddenly flew this way. Mike was worried that the mission would fail, so he killed the criminal leader. The next second, the flying object flew this way. Mike got up and jumped backward. When he woke up, he tried to use the radio to contact his teammates, but there was no response. He immediately grabbed a sniper rifle and returned to investigate. When he arrived at the shipwreck, however, he found no one. He only saw a strange green liquid and a strange-looking mask. Curious, he picked up the armor on the ground and put it on his arm. Who knew that this thing could stick to his arm automatically? He was already dead, so he couldn't die anymore. Then, the invisible Iron Blood soldier suddenly appeared, and Mike immediately opened fire to chase after him. Iron Blood shot a bomb without saying a word, blowing his teammate to death on the spot. Mike was blown away, and then Iron Blood climbed down from the tree to retrieve his equipment. At that moment, the armor suddenly fired a shot, piercing Iron Blood's body. This armor has a self-defense mechanism, but the seriously injured Iron Blood soldier did not. Next time, Mike immediately took his equipment and left. After running for a while, he found a helicopter coming this way. This is the armor. Suddenly, there was a sound. The next second, a steel ball flew out. Mike didn't have time to think about turning around and leaving this damn place. After dawn, Mike arrived at the express station with his backpack. He planned to secretly send home what he had picked up the previous night. Who knows if this bald head will ignore him? Mike had to think of a way to scare him off. When the bald man turned around again, he saw that there was no one behind him. Suddenly, someone shot him in the back. The bald man was scared to death at that moment. As it turned out, as long as he took the steel ball, he could hide. He had no choice but to do what Mike asked. In short, he put the steel ball in a glass and swallowed it. A few days later, Mike was caught by a mysterious organization called Star Wars. It's a legal organization that specializes in the study of aliens. They arrived at the scene of the crime that night and took away the seriously injured Iron Blood soldier, who might have been Mike. They must have brought him back to inquire about the situation because he had never encountered aliens before. In the end, they took Mike in a truck. Meanwhile, the Iron Blood soldier was tied up in a Star Wars laboratory. Will, the person in charge, wanted to study the ultimate secret of Iron Blood, so he invited Dr. Shenwu to help him. Dr. Shenwu was surprised to see the unknown creature in front of him. He could not believe that there were aliens in the world. Then, everyone began to study the Iron Blood soldier, unaware that disaster was approaching. Suddenly, the Iron Blood soldier woke up. The staff immediately pushed him forward, and he turned around and bit them. Then, he picked up the staff next to him and used it to block the bullet attack. Seeing that the situation was not right, he ran away with his subordinate. Humans were no match for the cruel Iron Blood. Kaishi saw the group and hid in the changing room. However, he was reminded to throw away the lab coat before leaving the lab. Meanwhile, the Iron Blood had found his own coat. As a result, 2 important items were missing. When he put on his equipment and came to the changing room, he found Kaishi hiding there. Fortunately, the Iron Blood soldier felt no threat from Kaishi, so he turned around and left the lab. At that moment, the police officer was about to shoot his gun. He threw him out, took the gun, and left. As he was leaving, he found the other equipment collected by the War Heart. It was the 3 Kingdoms of Sha Dong's Invincible Friend card. With it, the print of the ultimate Iron Blood was nowhere to be found. The 3 Kingdoms of Sha has become famous. The express delivery sent by Mike a few days ago has been delivered to his home finally. He was curious to open the express delivery and found a strange mask in the box, and he found the armors in it obviously. This little thing caught Paul's interest, and then he gently touched the armors and suddenly something popped out, and he just wanted to pick pick it up and look at it carefully. But the parts suddenly started to show a special star map. I don't know if the other side of the star map has already accepted the location information and the ship that was chasing the Iron Blood has already followed the location to the Earth, and Paul is still studying this little thing. I don't know, the danger is coming, and as the ship enters the Earth's surface, the military immediately found this unknown flying object, so they immediately sent 2 fighters to check it out and almost hit the invisible flying ship. Then each side of the aircraft immediately fired missiles at the flying ship, but the missiles could not penetrate the defensive layer of the flying ship. The flying ship immediately fired an anti-personnel cannon to blow up a fighter. At the same time, the Iron Blood soldier wore the helmet found in the lab directly. I didn't expect these masks to be able to sense each other. After a while, he learned where his mask was when Cass wore his clothes and arrived. The Iron Blood soldier had long disappeared, and the Glass's brother told him to bring back the alien monster. Finally, Cass took up his weapon and left, and the car that held back Mike happened to arrive at the lab and happened to see the Iron Blood soldier on the roof. In order to avenge his dead comrade, Mike convinced the veterans in the car to solve the alien together. The group of people got excited as soon as they heard the word alien, so they deliberately created a conflict to attract the attention of the police. When the police came forward to check, they took away the key finally, a few times to solve the police and throw down the car. This is a big jump to the top of the car, and when he was going to shoot with a muzzle gun, Mike suddenly fired an attack on the Iron Blood soldier. As a result, the Iron Blood directly turned around and directly blew up the tires. Mike was instantly thrown out of the car, and Cassie accidentally shot the muzzle gun into her feet. When the driver heard the sound of the question, the Iron Blood soldier picked up a broken hand and gave the driver a big thumb, so the Iron Blood soldier hid in the truck and successfully escaped the base, and then went to look for the lost equipment. And it happened to be Halloween. Paul was wearing a mask and asking for candy on the street, but when he was knocking on the door of his neighbor, 2 little boys were laughing at his strange outfit, and someone was hitting him with candy behind him. The mask immediately turned on the attack mode and blew up the house in the back. At this point, Paul did not realize the seriousness of the problem. He picked up the mask and scared the 2 little boys away. However, on his way home, 2 alien dogs suddenly appeared. At this point, a car came out and blew up the Iron Blood dog directly. Mike quickly got out of the car and put his son behind him. A few people surrounded the dog and then fired a bomb. The alien dog was on the road. Mike didn't believe it and kept shooting at him, but the bullet didn't work. Mike threw the weapon down and ran away. Then he picked up the weapon and hid. Then he fired an attack at him, and the Iron Dog died instantly. The teammates slowly approached another Iron Dog, and then hit his head against the wall. But the dog did not die but became a fool. A few people were just about to leave here, but the Iron Blood soldier suddenly appeared and then pulled the red man. Finally, he aimed the red target at Paul. He tried to put down the weapon, but everyone had no choice but to do as required. This is a teammate who suddenly fell ill. Mike took the opportunity to attack the teammate and successfully escaped the danger eye, and just as the Iron Blood soldier was about to catch up with them, there was a huge figure in the window. The moment he turned around, Mike was caught by the Iron Blood soldier and pressed on the wall. He couldn't eat 4 dishes, so he had to give him the controller, and the next second and the monster with this body in front of him is the Iron Blood who has been chasing him. The ultimate Iron Blood slowly walked forward to question the arrival of the Iron Blood and the location of the holy object in his foot. The Iron Blood did not stand up for a moment and then hugged the big tall guy. The sun is a package of deep out of the claw. Walk forward to find the chest of the door, to find a few, to learn the right to play a iron fist, to make iron snow fire. Well, I threw the iron poo to the earth, then I got up and dressed the snowman. I cut off the small cow and smashed the small cow. Then he shook his hand and took off the Iron Blood mask and squeezed his head full of energy and hit a big house. The Iron Blood only sprayed the back and pulled his head, and then when one of my brothers pulled his spine out, the military police cut off the communication device and returned the news that the traitor had been killed to the elders. At the same time, Michael has brought his partner to hide in a farm. Dr. Casey's research has also made progress. He found that iron-blooded warriors are a gene-mixing body. They collect the most powerful creatures on different planets in order to strengthen their own genes. Even iron-blooded hounds are also a product of mixed gene. After a while, a helicopter suddenly stopped in the yard. It turned out that it was the person in charge of the new war. Will brought his men to come over and asked Will why the iron-blooded warriors came to the Earth. Will finally told the truth. The Earth is becoming less and less suitable for humans to live in, so the iron-blooded warriors want to find the best DNA to combine with them before the extinction of humans, and the iron-blooded hound brought a weapon to stop them. Finally, Will kidnapped the genius Paul, who would break the flying ship controller, and ordered his men to deal with Michael, but Michael didn't die. Michael pulled a candle and then added a head, a roll-up and a shot to kill a man and then to the chest, and then the team driver helicopter came to pick him up and they set off to save Paul at the same time. The new war has successfully found the destroyed flying ship. Watching the flying ship's series of high-tech, Will was instantly happy and did not waste the roll. I don't know how long he can laugh because the ultimate Iron Blood has been killed after slaughtering a large number of soldiers. The ultimate Iron Blood used the deflector to tell everyone hello. I have enjoyed watching you kill each other. I came here to destroy this vessel. You cannot have it. What you can do is run. I detect one among you who is a true warrior. The one called Mac cannot. He will be your leader. He will be my prize. I offer time advantage in the face of the death threat of the ultimate Iron Blood. Mac had to join in with Will for the time being. Finally, a group of people ran into the forest. On the other side, the countdown was coming to an end. As the ultimate Iron Blood pressed the remote control in his hand, the whole flying ship turned into ashes. When people heard the noise, they got nervous. It was a soldier who was suddenly hung up, and when people looked up, the ultimate Iron Blood was alive and bit the soldier to death. The people immediately began to shoot at the tree, but the attack seemed to be of no use to him. We had to retreat quickly, but there was no way to go on like this. So they decided to set up a trap for a group of people. The other group of people led the Iron Blood soldier over, and soon everyone arranged a few bombs for him. But what they didn't know was that the ultimate Iron Blood could not only hide his eyes but also capture the hot imaging function of the creature. This is the ultimate Iron Blood. Lift hand, attack a soldier instantly. The key is that when people see it, they immediately suppress it with firepower. He locks everyone's position first, and then raises his hand to fire a bullet. Happy picks up a helmet right next to it. However, as soon as the helmet landed, the Iron Blood fell to the ground. A few people immediately set fire to the trap. This is a teammate who jumps directly onto the Iron Blood. The Iron Blood is a fierce attack. Will just wants to launch an attack unexpectedly. He sent himself away directly. Iron Blood was angry and threw his teammate away. It seemed that he could not live for more than 2 seconds. Then a bullet hit the light head and watched his teammate die 2 times in a row. Mike took the initiative to go to the Iron Blood to show that he was willing to go back with him. Who knew that the Iron Blood would lift him up directly and throw him out? Kaishi, the shopkeeper, immediately aimed at him and shot the Iron Blood. He shot Kaishi out, so his ultimate goal is the back of the treasure. And then he throws the treasure into the spaceship, and starts the spaceship to leave. Mike followed closely with his teammates, and then a big jump to the top of the spaceship. Who knew that as soon as they stabilized their bodies, the Iron Blood started the spaceship's protective cover, but the long hair was not so lucky, and just stuck to his hands and fell down. The old man felt that it was not a good idea to stick to it like this, so he decided to sacrifice himself to destroy the spaceship. As expected, the spaceship broke in an instant, and finally crashed into a river. Iron Blood opened his mouth angrily, and opened his mouth. Immediately the Iron Blood came to the front, and threw Mike 2 miles away. This is the sudden appearance of a big jump holding the Iron Blood head against the head of the Iron Blood. Pain of the 5 head. Mike took the opportunity to run forward and pushed him into the ship. Quickly start the spaceship's protective cover, and cut off the Iron Blood's arm. The Iron Blood just reached out, but the cloth was bitten by the Iron Dog. Mike took the opportunity to pick up the Iron Blood's armor, and then aimed at the Iron Blood. The impact hit in the end. The Iron Blood was blown to 708 years old, and there was no more danger. At the end of the story, Mike successfully restored his superior's military rank. Paul was invited to the alien research company to participate in the research, and the gift that the Iron Blood sent to humans was also found, and the door was slowly opened and an unknown object was slowly born, and the next second this thing was directly attached to the scientist. The anti-blood war armor was born. What is this? That's my new suit, baby. This is the end of the Iron Blood War 2018 production. Not Leaf friends, remember to give a 3 clap.